Welcome, if you dare, to our haunted walking tour of Excelsior Springs, Missouri. Across the United States, towns and cities harbor places steeped in ghostly lore and mysterious locations. In today's video, we dive into 4 of the most haunted spots in Excelsior Springs. But here's a twist. Only 3 of these locations are genuinely haunted. The 4th is a creation of the imaginative minds here at Wandering Walks of Wonder. So as you watch, your challenge is to figure out which of these locations is our own creation and which 3 are truly haunted. At the end of the video, we will reveal which haunted Excelsior Springs location is true and which ones are not. Today's eerie journey leads us to 4 locations in Excelsior Springs: the Elms Hotel and Spa, the Hall of Waters, the Old Clay County State Bank, and the mysterious and horror-filled Superior Well. Our first stop on our haunted tour here in Excelsior Springs, Missouri is the Elms Hotel and Spa. The Elms Hotel is well known for its luxurious accommodations and rich history, but it's also famous for the ghost stories that have been passed down through the years. Here are just a few of the most chilling tales associated with the Elms. The first is The Lady in the White. One of the most famous ghost stories at the Elms Hotel involves the apparition of a woman dressed in a flowing white gown. She is often seen wandering the hallways late at night, particularly on the 4th floor. Guests who have encountered her describe her as having a sad, almost a distant expression, as if she is searching for something or someone. Some believe that she was the bride who either died tragically on her wedding night or was abandoned at the altar, her spirit now eternally wandering the hotel searching for her lost love. Speaking of the 4th floor, where the Lady in White can often be found, is room 422, which is one of the most haunted rooms here at the Elms Hotel. Guests who have stayed in room 422 say there have been reports of strange occurrences. They often say that lights are flickering, the television will turn off and on by itself, and they'll hear the sound of footsteps pacing the floor when no one is there. Once guests claimed to have woken up in the middle of the night to see a shadowy figure standing at the bed. The figure didn't move or speak, but the guests felt an overwhelming sense of dread until the figure slowly faded away. After this experience, the guests refused to spend another night in that room. Another haunted area is the hotel's pool area, which is said to be haunted by the spirit of a little boy who drowned there many, many years ago. Guests and staff have reported seeing the figure of a young boy playing near the edge of the pool, only for him to disappear when they approach. There are also reports of the sound of splashing water and children laughing, even though the pool is empty and it's occurring late at night. Some believe the boy's spirit is still drawn to the water, forever playing in the place where he lost his life. And our final horror-filled story or ghost story at the Elms Hotel is that of the ghostly bellhop. This ghostly bellhop has been seen in various parts of the hotel, especially in the lobby and with people in the elevator. Guests have reported seeing a young man in an old-fashioned bellhop uniform offering to take their bags or show them to their room. However, when they turn to thank him, he's nowhere to be found. One particularly chilling account came from a guest who claimed the bellhop led them to their room only to disappear once they reached the door. When the guest described the bellhop to the hotel staff, they were told that no one matching that description had been working at the hotel that night. Our second stop on our tour of haunted Excelsior Springs, Missouri is the Hall of Waters. The The Hall of Waters has been a subject of fascination for those interested in the paranormal. Here are just a few of the ghost stories that have become part of its eerie lore. One of the most enduring ghost stories revolves around the figure of a healer who is said to walk the halls of the building. Visitors have reported seeing a shadowy figure in a long, old-fashioned coat who appears to be administering treatments in the abandoned treatment rooms. The figure moves methodically as if tending to patients, but when approached it vanishes into thin air. Some believe this is a ghost of a doctor or maybe a nurse who worked at the hall during its heyday, still trying to care for the sick, even in death. Another story is the woman in the fountain room. The grand fountain room of the Hall of Waters is a stunning example of Art Deco architecture, but it's also said to be haunted by the ghost of a woman. Visitors have reported seeing a woman dressed in 1930s-style clothing standing near the fountain, her expression one of deep sorrow. She is often seen gazing into the water as if looking for something or someone. Legend has it that she was a young woman who came to Excelsior Springs to seek a cure for her ailing husband. When he died, despite the treatment, she was so heartbroken that she threw herself into the fountain and drowned. Her spirit is said to linger eternally, mourning her lost love. Many people who visit the Hall of Waters report hearing faint whispers echoing through the halls, especially near the mineral springs. These whispers often are unintelligible, but those who have heard them describe them as urgent, almost pleading. Some believe these are the voices of those who came to the hall seeking healing, only to pass away from their illnesses. The whispers are said to grow louder at night, particularly when the building is quiet, as if the spirits are still trying to communicate with the living. And then there's the apparition in the lobby. The lobby of the Hall of Waters, with its grand architecture, is often filled with tourists and visitors. However, some have reported seeing an apparition of a man in early 20th century attire standing near the entrance as if looking for someone. He is described as wearing a dark suit and a fedora hat with a sad, distant expression. Many believe he is the ghost of a former guest who came to the hall seeking healing but never left, forever waiting for his loved ones to join him. Our next haunted location in Excelsior Springs takes us to the old Clay County State Bank building, now home to the History Museum in Excelsior Springs. This building has a storied past that lends itself well to ghostly tales. Here are some of the ghost stories associated with this historic site. One of the most enduring legends revolves around the bank's old vault, which is said to be haunted by the spirit of a former bank employee. According to the story, this employee made a tragic end during a bank robbery in the early 20th century. Visitors and museum staff reported hearing strange noises emanating from the vault, including the sound of heavy metal doors creaking open and slamming shut, even though the vault has been sealed for decades. Some have even claimed to see the ghostly figure of a man in an old-fashioned suit standing near that vault, guarding it as if still on duty. Another common tale is that of a ghostly banker who has been seen in various parts of the building, particularly in the rooms that once served as offices. This apparition is described as a man in his late 40s dressed in early 20th century attire, often appearing to be deep in thought or busy with paperwork. Some visitors have reported catching a glimpse of him out of the corner of their eye, only for him to vanish when they turn to get a better look. The presence of this spirit is usually accompanied by the scent of old tobacco, as if someone had been smoking a pipe. And then there's that shadow in the stairs in the building. The staircase that leads to the upper floors of the museum is another area where strange occurrences have been reported. Visitors often feel as though they are being watched or followed as they climb the stairs, and some have seen a dark, shadowy figure lurking at the top or bottom of the staircase. This shadowy presence is believed to be the spirit of a security guard who once worked at the bank. According to local lore, the guard was extremely dedicated to his job, and his spirit now remains in the building, continuing his rounds long after death. But one of the more chilling tales involves the apparition of a woman who is often seen in the museum's exhibition rooms. She is described as wearing a long dress typical of the early 1900s and appears to be in her late 30s. Witnesses report that she has a sad expression and seems to be searching for something or someone. Some speculate that she might be the ghost of a bank patron who experienced a significant loss, maybe the death of a loved one or even financial ruin. Her spirit is said to be tied to the emotional turmoil she experienced within the bank's walls. Our final stop is at the Superior Well. The Superior Well in Excelsior Springs has a long history tied to the town's reputation as a healing destination, but it's also the source of eerie ghost stories that have persisted over the years. Here are just a few tales of paranormal activity associated with the Superior Well. One of the most frequently reported phenomenon around the Superior Well is the sound of whispers. Visitors often claim to hear soft, indistinct voices when they are near the well, especially in the early morning or late at night. These whispers are said to come from the spirits of those who once sought healing from the mineral waters. Some believe the whispers are the voices of those who were cured, expressing their gratitude, while others think they are the voices of those who passed away, their spirits lingering in the place where they hoped for a miracle. A more unsettling tale involves the ghost of a young child who is sometimes seen playing near the well. This child, described as a little boy by an early 1900s clothing, is often seen laughing and running around the well, only to disappear suddenly when approached. According to legend, the boy was the son of a family who came to Excelsior Springs for the healing waters, but he succumbed to his illness before they could return home. His spirit is said to linger near the well, forever playing in the spot where his family once held out hope for his recovery. Some visitors to the Superior Well have reported seeing strange glowing lights in the vicinity of the well, particularly on foggy nights. This light is often described as a faint bluish glow that hovers near the ground before rising and disappearing into the air. Those who have seen it claim it gives off an eerie, unnatural feeling, as if not of this world. Theories about the light range from it being the spirit of a person who died while seeking the well's waters to being a manifestation of the well's mysterious energies. And then finally, the cold touch. A more tactile ghostly encounter reported by some involves the sensation of being touched by an invisible hand while standing near the well. Those who experience this describe feeling a sudden, icy grip on their shoulder or arm, followed by an overwhelming sense of sadness. Some believe this touch comes from the spirit of someone who was desperate for the well's healing powers, reaching out from beyond the grave to share their sorrow or seek comfort from the living. Now that we have explored 4 of the most haunted spots in Excelsior Springs, it's time for you to guess which one of these locations is a story created by Wandering Walks of Wonder and which 3 are true haunted tales. Remember, we saw the Elms Hotel and Spa, the Hall of Waters, the Clay County State Bank, and the Superior Well. Can you guess which one of these was made up by those of us here at Wandering Walks of Wonder? We'll pause now and give you a chance to think about it and reflect back on those stories, and we'll give you the answer in just a few seconds. If you guessed the old Clay County State Bank building, then you are correct. This is the one story that was made up by those of us here at Wandering Walks of Wonder. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and look for other haunted locations on Wandering Walks of Wonder. Take care now. Bye-bye.